Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Noah Mark Broadcasting here in Eunice, New Mexico. Getting wound up here for tonight's game between your Eunice Cardinals and the Symer Bobcats, Texas team. Jimmy's making his way up here, and I'm going to try to redeem from last night and get this thing started somewhat on time. Going to go ahead and kind of recap last night just a little bit. Got a few stats. Got pitching last night, Chance Tucker. Looks like he had 9 strikeouts. I hope my stats are right. I believe they are. And a doubleheader against Texaco. Of course, game 1 was over in the 5th inning. Eunice won that one 13-2. The second half of the doubleheader, it went on into the 6th inning, where Eunice won that one 10-0. So as I'm kind of going over these things, Jimmy just made his way in. I'm glad to see him tonight. I'm surprised we're not fired. Me and Rosendo had a heck of a night last night. I was over there just chatting away, and we looked down, there was no lights on, so nobody was hearing anything. But I think we got it rolling tonight.
That sounds like a good deal for sure. So
welcome, Jimmy.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Had a little track meet action yesterday, and so today I'm back in the big city. Of course, got my kid right now saying, "What are you doing?" I'm at baseball, but
I was just kind of talking. I kept some stats from last night, but I'm not nothing like what you did.
Yeah.
But I do know that Chance Tucker on that second game threw 9 strikeouts.
Wow.
The first game was kind of a jumble because we had a late start, and I didn't start keeping all the stats really till the second game. But the second game was pretty good stats.
Awesome. Well, that's pretty neat. Pretty excited. Today here in Eunice will be hosting Symer, Texas. And if you're not familiar with Symer, I had heard of it multiple times. I knew I had even driven through it. I just couldn't quite place where it was at.
And
then
Lubbock,
somebody today told me that if you drive from Levelland to Lubbock, you drive right through the middle of it. And I went, I think I remember that. So I believe I've been there in the past. I think even maybe participated in some basketball tournaments and whatnot over there in the past. So pretty neat little place over there.
Not sure what their record is. I don't know. You might have done some research.
Yeah, they're 10-10, 6-6 in their district over there in West Texas. Another one of those groups that's really hard to kind of get a feel for it. 10-10. They've played some teams that have really good records and beat them, and then they've lost to some teams that have some really bad records. So when you look at them statistically, it's definitely I don't know, kind of one of those tale of two teams. I'm assuming at the high school, small school level, it probably depends on which pitcher they've got on the hill that day.
Right.
But I know that they've beat Seagraves. They've beat Stanton, Texas. I believe they had a win over Tahoka. They had some wins over some other little towns over there that I can think of that are as big or bigger than Eunice. Yet then at the same time, I saw where they had lost to New Deal and some of those other little small areas over there that, like I said, some of the wins and losses as I was looking at their schedule just didn't make a lot of sense when you looked at them. So
kind of hard to read then.
Yeah. I was up at the barbershop earlier. Shout out to my man Lynn White and J. Lou up there cutting hair. But we were kind of discussing this game, and it's really just kind of one of those that's hard to get a good feel of what this Symer team's got because, like I said, they face some teams that you look at on paper and go, oh, that's a pretty good team, and they got a win over them. Then they've lost to some teams that you're looking at on paper and go, oh, that team ain't very good. So, like I said, kind of an interesting deal. Eunice comes into this game, I believe at what are they, like 18, 19, 20, and 2, something and 2.
I think we only lost one.
One? Okay, so got the one loss.
The one split
and that was
doubleheader in Lovington.
In Lovington, okay. And so been quite a year for them. And once again, as I look here, you know, Symer lost to Sundown. They beat Seagraves. They beat Tahoka. They beat Morton. They lost to Ropes. They beat O'Donnell. They lost to Stanton, and they beat Stanton. They
all over the place.
They beat Wink.
Wow.
They beat Colorado City. And so, like I said, you know, just kind of really all over the place as far as the ranking. Eunice is 20-1 coming into the season. As far as for the season, right now, batting average leader is Zeke Benton. He's got a .529 batting average. Micah Tippett has got a .477 batting average. And Jorge Ontiveros with a .462. On base percentage, Micah Tippett with a .578, Zeke Benton with a .575, and Chance Tucker with a .556. All three of those are very close. The home run leader for this team, we don't have one anymore. We've got 3 all tied. Micah Tippett, Jorge Ontiveros, and Sean Stinson all tied. Stolen bases right now, let's see here. Oh, got the national anthem, so I'll be quiet for a minute. Hard for me to do. All right.
Play ball.
Back to those stolen bases. Micah Tippett leads this team in stolen bases with 29. Chance Tucker at 24. Let's see. So, anyway, just some of the things that that we've got going on for the season. Let me steal these right quick so I can write those down. Get our lineups. Looks like we're getting ready to get this thing started. We're about 6 minutes early at this point, but it looks like we're in a hurry to get it going here for sure. So we will make note of who we've got here for Symer. Let's see. They have got. You need these? Let me take pictures. That'll be the easiest. Yeah, that was kind of the feel I got there. I'm in no hurry, but I need those right now. All right, so we're all trying to. We just got the lineups here, and their teams are already out on the field, so trying to get them jotted down here really quickly. Let's see, this is number 17. And we got the man, the myth, Rosendo.
Doing what's that?
He
How you doing, sir?
Joined us now. And
I asked Charlie to stay on the mic. He kept telling me no. He got rid of it real quick. I was like, whoa, what did I do wrong?
As we write down these rosters, I was at the barber shop earlier getting a haircut, and they told me, they said, we really needed you on the air last night because they were playing Texaco, and some Texaco fans and a coach got tossed, and we know you would have made that entertaining. They said Rosendo and Charlie were a little dull on the throw-out. They should have got a little more into the throw-out. And
I said I refuse to give that guy his 15 minutes of fame, man.
I told him, don't worry, I'll mention it today. Anytime a person from Texaco gets tossed from a Eunice stands, it's a good day
Yes.
in Eunice Cardinal country. Cause,
It was a double victory yesterday. Triple victory, we think, been thrown out.
You know, it's funny because I know I'm a hard-headed rascal, and the older I get, the more hard-headed I get. However, in all of my sports career, I received one technical foul ever, and it was in Texaco. And you know, it's funny because it's a place that, for whatever reason, us and them just never have mixed. We're kind of like oil and water, and so to me, I have watched I don't know how many Eunice fans
Get thrown
tossed
out.
of their place over there, and usually fans that aren't that big a problem anywhere, but you go over there and they're instantly a problem.
Well, he did a good job taking care of him, throwing him out. So
So yeah, I was excited to see someone from Texaco tossed here in Eunice.
at least you heard about it. That's a good sign.
Oh yeah. It was definitely a exciting day. So here we go. Who do we got on the hill, Sean?
Sean Stinson, yes, sir.
So we got Sean Stinson on the hill. Number 17 is Haywood. Haywood is Kagan Haywood. He's a senior. This Symer, Texas team. Once again, they're 10-10 on the season, 6-6 in district. Kind of a tale of two teams. We've got ball number two there. So 2 balls, no strikes here to Haywood.
Haywood is a left-handed batter here, number 17. For the Eunice Cardinals, we have Zeke Baton on shortstop, Chance Tucker on second, Marcus Cesar on third, ball 3 on the batter, Connor Pierce behind the plate, Belondio, Jorge Ontiveros on third, Micah Tippett in center, and Alfredo Morales out there on right field, and on left field, I believe that is Gio Chacon.
All right.
That is ball 4. That was 4 quick balls to get the first batter walked. So, they're going to take off the second.
Mm-hmm. He looked like he was thinking about it.
He's running fast. We got number 7 at the bat for Symer.
So number 7 is Barrett. Barrett is Sean Barrett. He's a junior, right-hander. Haywood standing at first. Sean Stinson, the senior pitcher for the Cardinals, on the hill. Definitely the runner's looking like he's thinking hard about going. There's a bunt laid down toward the third base line. Jorge Ontiveros comes up, swings it over to first for the out. The runner does advance over to second, though, and is now in scoring position.
He did his job, but Jorge came up real quick, man. Beautiful throw across the diamond to get him out with a couple of steps extra, and he sprinted back to cover his back, thinking that player was going to come over the third, which he did not.
Yeah.
So that's out number 1 here at the top of the first inning. I didn't get his number, Coach.
Oh, this one is Clausen, number 3. This is C. Clausen, which is Caleb Clausen.
And he's a lefty up there. And they're using aluminum bats since they come from the state of Texas, the great state of Texas, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that the other day as we went down to Kermit, and they were using aluminum bats. I guess for us, you know, it's just something we're used to doing, but it seems like it would make sense to say, hey,
Yep.
let's share in the wealth of those aluminum bats here.
So that being said, there's 2 quick balls to this young man batting up into the left-hand side. Sean Stinson usually comes in to finish a game or middle relief. I think this is his first time he has started a game for the Eunice Cardinals.
Yeah, definitely a different look for us here today.
Once again, that's high for 3 straight balls, which that's pretty odd for Stinson, which he got a home run last night.
I saw that.
And your boy, number 1, got a grand slam, man.
That's pretty crazy too, huh?
And he has blonde hair.
Yeah, I was told that a bunch of the baseball guys were planning on doing that. I figure your son will show up one of these days with it, and you'll just be shocked.
No, kick him out of the house. That's what happens. That being said, the kid threw a strike up, and the count is 3-1.
All right.
I don't know. I'm about to shave him bald.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard that that's the ongoing baseball thing right now, though. Is the
Shot towards the pitcher. Pitcher jumps up, grabs it, flips over to first, and barely gets him on time. They throw it across the diamond towards third, but the ball gets her short. So it's out number 2, but the runner does advance to third.
Yeah, so we pick off the lead runner. However, they do end up with a runner now at third. So with 2 outs, that's going to bring Burris to the plate. Brandon Burris is a senior.
Gets it on the right-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
The score remains 0-0 here.
Yep, so we'll see if Stinson can work his way out of this deal.
Oh, low and outside for
Oh, they
strike
called
number
a
one.
strike. Yeah, I was fixing to say it. It was about a 4 or 5 second delay when he pointed over, but he finally pointed over and called it a strike.
This is him.
Yes.
This is the delay umpire. Throw it over towards their base. Snap throw, and he gets in safely. So that's going to be 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs here in Eunice, New Mexico. With a beautiful day. The wind is blowing directly out of the stadium, right directly towards center field. Correct me
These
if I'm wrong.
aluminum bats. They get a hold of one, it could
Could
vanish
be
pretty
gone,
quick.
Stinson delivers the next pitch, gets away from Conacher, but not too far. Not far enough for the Red to advance, and that's going to be a ball.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here. We're in the top of the first. Symer, Texas versus Eunice here in Eunice, New Mexico. A beautiful, slightly breezy day. Let's say it's in the mid to lower 70s at this point, so a pretty neat day here. And there's a pitch right down the middle that I'm assuming must have been a little high.
I was still waiting for the call.
Yeah, me too.
He didn't make no motion as a strike, so we're going to say it's a ball, right?
Yep.
3 balls, 1 strike.
So 3-1, 2 outs here. Stinson on the mound, and he throws
Ooh.
that one high, and even the batter was thinking about it for a while, but they did give him ball 4. So now runners at the corners, 2 outs, and that'll bring Wagner to the plate. Wagner's number 5, Colt Wagner, another senior. This team is very senior loaded, similar to the Eunice Cardinal team.
Number 5 looks like he can play some ball up in there, huh?
Hey, looks like he's got a little muscle,
Yeah.
little muscle behind him for sure.
Ball thrown high for ball 1.
Mm-hmm.
Surprised that runner is on first for the Symer team.
Yep. Yeah, I would guess that maybe somebody finally got the memo.
Of our secret weapon, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, our catcher Conacher Pierce, as we've mentioned numerous times, has got an absolute cannon from behind the plate, and I would, along with the other probably half dozen. So we appreciate everybody letting us know. Even Tiff back at the station sent us a message to let us know. So we appreciate it. That box is sitting literally 1.5 feet from me, but it's the way it's sitting. I can't see the lights when I'm sitting up looking out the window, and so the power just flat out come unplugged. So we will see what we can do to prevent that from happening, and hopefully we can
Slide this over a little bit more.
maybe that might be a good option. Yeah, that's probably good.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can keep it from happening.
And normally we don't have this stuff like this. We got
Yeah.
the camera guy outside today getting y'all a better view.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's the power cord goes to a box. The box goes over to a cable that's about 6 foot long, and it goes to the camera. And for us to keep from getting this glare off the window, we put the camera outside and we run the cable down outside the door and over the edge of the bleachers. And I'm assuming somebody stepped on that cable right outside the door and it pulled the power loose. And we'll try to not have that happen anymore. Our apologies. Eunice able to get out of that inning behind some good pitching from Sean Stinson and some good field work. It's now 2-1. We're in the bottom of the second, and Marcus Tercero is up to the plate for the Cardinals.
and swinging a miss with a foul ball. Strike number 1 on Marcus.
You know, as I was trying to get everything up and running, I missed what was happening with those last couple of batters for Symer as well.
He struck out. That last batter, he went up there.
Everybody?
Yes, sir. He K'd them all.
Okay, so we'll put on there a K. We had a ground out to one of them where he hit it just over the pitcher's
Yes.
head.
That was the only one he hit the
Okay,
ball.
and the other 2 were Ks.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right, so we've got 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Marcus Tercero. He's another one of those seniors. I don't know.
No.
I don't know if it's stick.
Stick. Slide right off.
I'm just trying to hold this piece because it clips. The other piece,
Yeah, I hate for you
Doesn't.
forgetting.
yeah, let it go, and then we'll be singing like the what is that? Not Ice Age, the little Snow Princess. Let it go. Let it
That being
go.
said, it brings the count 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I'm going to wander over here and see if I can get some tape.
All right, there's a
Ooh.
drive. It's high up over left field. Left fielder coming in. He's waving his arms around, and he has got it for out number 1. So that'll bring up, let's see, Alfredo Morales. So we'll put on here that we got a fly out there. And Alfredo Morales comes up to the plate. All right, I got multiple people telling me everything's good now, so we appreciate you folks. Thank you for letting us know. Definitely appreciate those of you out there listening and keeping us on our toes for sure, because we probably would have sat here for the next 30 minutes just jabbering to ourselves, which I'm pretty good at, and not had any idea that we were not broadcasting. So we definitely appreciate the heads up. I'm going to try to put a little of that tape on there, and we'll see if we can, maybe that'll hold it enough to keep it from sliding down any farther. There's a drive right past the pitcher. Shortstop comes in charging, grabs it, throws it over, and throws it not where it needs to be.
Throw a little bit of wide. So.
That's right. So we'll give Alfredo Morales a single on that one as he's standing at first base now after the wide throw from the shortstop.
Speed kills, man. That kid hit the ball, went out of the box, running as hard as he could, and made that shortstop speed up his throw and did not make it on time.
So that'll bring up Gio Chacon to the plate.
Lay a beautiful bunt down here, I bet.
Yeah, I would be real surprised if he doesn't. That's usually his thing.
It's bread and butter. Look at that.
And they throw the ball outside. That's going to let Morales easily advance over to second.
It was kind of a delay still as he went back towards first because the bunt was not laid down, but it was not a strike for him to lay down the bunt. So
I'd be surprised if he doesn't do it again, because that would advance the runner over to third now.
Yep.
But
he has to make that third baseman make a choice, huh?
Yep, I would bunt it right at that third baseman and make him decide what he's going to do with it. That ball's out. Oh, no, it's a late called strike.
That's why I'm not going to say nothing tonight, because every time I say it's outside, it's a strike.
This ump definitely has a delayed strike arm. He sits there for about 3-4 seconds before he finally points out. So
that arm must be a little heavier. Huh?
Yeah, he's got a heavy arm. His little finger don't want to get up and point out there to the side to say strike.
So that being said, it's 2 balls, 1 strike on Gio Chacon, with 1 out here at the bottom of the second. The score is 2-1.
Yeah, I mean, we're still just happy about Texaco's people getting kicked out yesterday. I want to throw that in there. I mean, anytime you can see a Wolverine go to the house in the middle of a game, it's always a good thing.
And they sat right over there outside the fence looking at the game. Like, how's the law on them?
It's always a good day when a Wolverine gets the boot from a Cardinal facility, I can tell you. All right, so here comes the next pitch. It swung on and missed.
That's a full count now on Gio Chacon. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Yep. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 3-2-1, that usually equals contact. Let's see if it does in this case. It's 2-1, Eunice in the lead, Gio Chacon at the plate. Here's the pitch. It's driven right over the second baseman stretches out and grabs that ball. I thought it was going to go right over his head into right center field.
He timed that just right, jumping up there and grabbing it out of the air. And I got an out and made Alfredo stay on second base. So that brings us back up to the top of the lineup with Micah Tippett in there, the left-handed batter and one of the seniors.
Yep. So Micah Tippett steps up. He flew out the first at bat. He steps into that left-handed batter's box. Here comes the pitch. It's a high fly ball over toward right field. There's a bunch of people running around, and it hits the turf, but not before Micah Tippett has already turned in second base. That ball almost hit the International Space Station.
I think it did, man.
I think one of the, what's that, SpaceX rockets was trying to move out of the way of that one, and it landed in between second base and right field. Neither one of them could get to it.
I don't know what second baseman was doing out there. That's right fielder's ball. But anyways, they both drop it.
Yeah. So that'll bring up Jorge Ontiveros.
Number 24. Ooh, shot towards center field.
He does the same thing.
It's dropping.
They're all running for it, and it's going to drop again. Almost the exact same hit, just a little more towards center field. So that's 2 high fly balls that are in between the outfielders and the infielders. Neither one of them can get to it. And so that's an RBI out of that one.
Micah just cruises on home.
Yes.
So the score now is 4-1. Eunice is hitting a lot of pop flies, but they are dropping in there. It's fine with us. It's working, right, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, we're now at 4-1 here.
And that brings up Tucker up the bat.
Chance Tucker.
Jorge made it to first base.
Yeah, so Tucker, the junior, steps into that right-handed batter's box. He's got a good-looking mullet sticking out the back of that helmet. Kind of looks like a wing.
Well,
and he gets hit right there near the mullet.
That's tradition right there. He's been hit at every game this young man has played.
That mullet it messed up the aerodynamics of the pitch, and it drew
Force, right?
Drew it right in, yes. And so it hits him right below the mullet, slightly to the shoulder blade.
So that brings number 13 up the bat, big old Conacher Pierce.
So
There's your
Conacher
trailer park.
Pierce with an RBI single, his first at bat. He steps into the right-handed batter's box. We've got runners at first and second. Conacher Pierce has changed his walkout music last week, and so he's went to the M&M 2 Trailer Park Girls going round the outside, and so it gives him a little momentum here as he steps inside. The right-handed batter's ready. Here comes the pitch, and it's...
Oh, he barely missed that one. That came straight back. He missed that ball by an inch. If not, it's over, man.
So 1 ball, 1 strike.
He wanted that one so bad. So did I. So we got runners on first and second for Conacher Pierce. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Swing and hit towards center field. Silverman backpedaling. Oh, and he barely found it and he caught it. Unfortunately, they strand 2 on. The Eunice Cardinals do. But they do score 2 runs, making the score 4-1 here at the bottom of the second. As we start the top of the third, give a shout out to our sponsors. Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, Eunice Public Schools, City of Eunice, Redbird Gas, Eunice Wrecker and Rentals, Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, and Eunice Health Clinic. Those are our proud sponsors of tonight's single game. We usually do double headers.
Yeah, I want to make sure we shout out to John Dean Davis and family, as well as Brett and Penny Parker, 2 families that are intertwined into this Eunice community. We appreciate all that you do, all that your businesses do for the community. You won't find much better people than those individuals. I mean, even Brett Parker, who I've caught a few times, he's got one of those salt guns and he hunts flies out in his yard.
Hunts flies,
and, you know, most people that get a salt gun, they hunt flies like on the porch or in the kitchen. Brett Parker hunts them outside. I mean, he looks like the great white hunter. He stalks them things. You'll see him out there leaning around the house shooting flies with that salt gun. And, I mean, I'm not sure he doesn't, like, wear camo when he's out there where the flies can't
Camo
see
and
him.
flip-flops, huh? So that being said, we have a change on the diamond for the Eunice Cardinals. We have Micah Tippett on the mound. This is the 3rd time we see him on that mound. He's coming in here as Stinson goes to center field. And I believe everything else remains the same out there. Right now we're just waiting for Conacher Pierce to put his gear on and come out here.
Yeah, the Symer, like their whole team is out here standing lined up down the first base line, as well as the coach trying to get a look at Tippett's arm as we've switched over to the left-hander.
As Conacher gets out there, misses the first ball as the coach for Symer walks by.
Gives him a little tap.
Yep, got to catch that, son.
Yep. So, anyway.
Where is Symer, Texas at?
So, I know I've been there. What I was told today at the barber shop doing my my normal pregame barber shop gossip corner, I was told that Symer is directly on the highway between Levelland and Lubbock. And it's a real small town that literally, if you drive through there on the highway, it takes you 5 seconds to go from one side of the town to the other. So it's kind of one of those Lubbock suburb little towns out there that.
Because they have a large crowd.
They do. They've got a good crowd here today. They've got their little section fairly full, and then they've got people sitting all in front of us.
They got people down there by the dugout.
Yeah. In the school admin spot. Miss Davis is not here. She must be out listening to us, and they've all stole her seat. So she needs to come back and get a little fired up.
So that being said, Micah threw a strike in her for the first pitch.
So it's 0-1 here. Tippett on the hill for the Cardinals. Here comes the pitch. That's swung on and drove over toward the second baseman. Second baseman scoops that up, fires it over to first for the out. And that was number 7, Barrett, which was their pitcher, and he goes down to the ground ball.
It's amazing how fast that ball comes off those aluminum bats.
Yeah,
'Cause
that
that
ball
ball-
is definitely scooping.
Yeah, scooping real fast towards second baseman. Tucker did a beautiful job out there. Getting the ball, throwing over the first, getting the first out, like you said. Brings
So-
up number 3, huh?
So this is Caleb Clausen, number 3, the sophomore. He ground out his first at bat. He's in here. That was there it is. Okay,
Yeah.
man, this ump
I'm afraid to say ball or
Yeah.
strike, man.
This
So-
ump will get us announcers because he literally has about a 3, 4, maybe 5-second delay from the time the ball hits the mitt before he calls ball or strike.
So that makes it count as 0 balls and 2 strikes. He must not like you because he knows you're in the press box. He goes, I won't take my time for Jones.
He's like, that guy talk trash about me, so I'm going to go real slow here today.
Ooh. Hit him on pitch
Way
came
in the-
behind his back, hit him
Yeah.
on the back leg, huh?
Yeah, and then he was running like Forrest all the way down to
Yeah,
first.
Yeah.
So-
Trying to take that pain out of the ankle.
Man, I'm not sure what he was doing there, but he took off. He got hit with the ball, and he started with a slow jog, and then all of a sudden he looked like he was running the 100-meter dash at the track meet.
Makes you
And,
shake your head sometimes.
Yeah,
And then they give him a pinch runner.
yeah. I guess he's warming up for later. I'm
Pinch
not
runner, who
sure.
knows?
So anyway, Symer with a runner at first now, and they will have. Let's see, this will be Wagner, I believe. No, this is Burris. So we got
Number
a
7,
walk
Burris?
there. Is it 7?
I cannot
I
tell
saw
the way he stands.
18.
Let's see.
He's turned sideways. That is 18,
18.
so that is Burris,
Yep, he's a senior.
Brandon Burris.
He jumps on the first pitch, but it's a foul ball.
Yep.
They're aggressive, I'll tell you that much.
And you got to be aggressive in Texas. Everything's bigger over there anyway. So tip it on the hill. The left-hander, he kicks and fires. That ball's driven over toward the gap, and I don't know if he's going to
Yeah,
get
we
there.
think
He might. And he does. Wow, what a play.
That was
by
awesome,
Chance,
man.
was that Chance Tucker?
Yeah, he was coming over to second because the guy was stealing. And Chance
Wow.
Tucker explodes back towards first base, and he chases the ball down almost out in the right field, picks it up and throws over to first and gets the run out by a step and a half
Wow.
for out number 2.
Yeah.
Covered a lot of ground, man.
Yeah, that was a great play by Chance Tucker. I mean, he showed a little bit of everything.
Little
Some
bit of range
speed,
right there,
some
huh?
gloves, some arm. I mean, he did everything needed there. Great play. And a great scoop over there by Tercero on first. That gives 2 outs.
For Wagner.
Yeah, and we've got runner at second as the runner did advance. Number 5, Wagner, is up to the plate. Colt Wagner, he's a senior. Looks like he's got some muscles. He probably lifts weights.
Plays a little bit of football, I bet.
That's right. There's a drive over toward the gap. Ontiveros comes in, picks it up, slings it over toward first for out number 3. He looked like he shot-putted
Yeah.
that thing, but it
was
went
kind
over
of high.
there.
Marcus stretched down and got it out of the air. For out number
Yes.
3. Good job, guys. Our own big guy fielded that ball, huh?
Yeah.
From a big guy to a big guy. So that being said, a shout out to our sponsors, City of Eunice, Eunice Public Schools, Cardinal Hardware, Redbird Gas, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Pump and Supply, Parker Energy Service, and Eunice Wrecker and Rentals.
Yeah. Yeah, it was it was an all-around good inning there for the Cardinals as they held the Symer Bobcats, is what they are, to 0 runs. So they've held them to 0 in the second and the third after giving them 1 in the first. Eunice has scored 2 in the first, 2 in the second. We're now getting ready to start the bottom of the third here. Eunice leads 4-1 against Symer, Texas, a team that we talked about in the pregame that's 10-10, 6-6, but they've had a very rocky up-down season. They've beat some very good teams with very good records. They've lost to some teams that didn't look so good with not so good records, so it's really tough to get a real feel for what they had coming into this game.
And sometimes that's tough as a coach because you don't know what you're actually facing. And by the looks of it, the Eunice Cardinals are out there playing against them like if they were playing against Texaco, which they beat last night.
Yeah.
Pretty fairly. The first game was 13-2, but I think we could have scored more because the bases were loaded when the run came home. And the final game was 10-0 with a stolen home win victory. It's pretty cool. Giovanni came home, and there was a little debate, but they gave us a victory.
Well, and as you mentioned earlier, I mean, there's a pretty good crowd of blue here, so Symer has traveled well over here to Eunice, New Mexico.
Makes you think they're pretty decent then. They have that big of a crowd following them all over here down to Eunice, New Mexico, huh?
So number 1, Zeke Benton will lead this third inning off as he steps into the right-handed batter's box. The senior, his first at bat, he got an RBI double. And so that first pitch is low and outside for ball number 1 to Zeke Benton. On the hill for the Symer Bobcats is number 7, Sean Barrett. He's a junior. So he steps in, kicks and fires. That ball
Strike.
is a strike.
It was a delay strike. I hear
Yeah.
you stretching that out.
Well, I was
So the
waiting
count
on
is
him to-
1-1 as a strike finally was thrown up in the air.
I'm assuming that's a ball.
Yeah. So that's a ball. We're playing the guessing game here, boss.
2 balls, 1 strike. That pitch was probably a few inches outside of where the other one was. Both look like balls to me. One goes for a strike, one for a ball. Here comes the next pitch. That was down the middle, and it's driven over toward the shortstop. It's going to go all the way into center field. Zeke Benton makes the shallow turn around first, looks over towards second, and strolls back over to first with a single.
That ball came off that bat so fast that shortstop barely found it, dove for it, but he was already too late. The ball was already in center field, so that's good hitting by that young man, number 1.
So that'll bring up Sean Stinson, the senior who started this game as the pitcher. He struck out his first at bat. He's ready for some redemption. Zeke Benton on first. I would be extremely surprised if he ain't moving towards second real soon. There he goes. And there is a...
Oh, they call that a foul.
Ooh.
The ball was hit towards third base and barely foul ball. I mean, from here, he just hit the turf and came up and it's gone.
Yep. It looked like it almost hit the bag itself, but
It was just too...
just right there at it for sure. But
Missed
it's
by a
called a
smidge,
foul
huh?
ball. Yep. So
So
that'll
Zeke-
send Zeke back over to first. Sean Stinson back into the batter's box. It's a 0-1 count. No outs here. We're in the bottom of the third. They throw over toward first, trying to keep Zeke on his toes.
Keep him honest over there on first base. They know he's going to go. They just don't know when, huh?
Yep, so he's ready. Here comes the lead. They throw it. There's a foul, or is that just a straight strike?
Just a straight strike. He was a little high. He likes that high fastball. So the count is 0 balls, 2 strikes here on on Sean Stinson. And Zeke sits on first base with a decent lead this time. I believe he's going to go right here. No, he does not. The ball hits in the dirt. Zeke takes off on a delay steal, and he is there standing up. He chose not to slide because he made it easily towards second base.
Yeah, he definitely got there with plenty of time. So now it's Zeke over on second. He's already got a huge lead. It's a 1-2 count to Sean Stinson. They're set up on the outside of the plate. Here comes the pitch. It's driven right over the pitcher's head, and he's going to step back and catch it for a fly out, and that'll keep Zeke on second.
That was right off his hands, man. Poor Stinson. But like you said, that's out number 1 for the Cardinals. And it brings up Marcus Tesoro, big 2-2 up there to the bat. Big old
So-
senior.
Yeah,
First baseman for the Eunice Cardinals.
So Marcus steps in. Zeke Benton steps off second. He's got the big lead. Pitcher for Symer takes a look back over at second. He's thinking about it. Here comes the pitch. He throws it all the way to the backstop, and that'll easily advance Zeke over to third.
So he's sitting in the scoring position right there. Let's go now, Marcus. Bring him home now. That was a ball? He called that a ball?
Yeah, that was a ball. So Marcus Tercero with a 1 ball, no strikes count. We've got 1 out. Zeke Benton standing at third. I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of action here with a bunt, but we're not going to see it. That ball is outside for ball number 2. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Marcus Tercero at the plate. Number 7, Sean Barrett, the junior, on the hill for Symer. Symer, Texas, that is. Here comes the kick. The fire, and it is
Ooh.
inside.
For a ball.
So 3 balls, no strikes.
I seen him raising that right hand. I thought he would call it a strike for a second.
He was thinking about it. Marcus steps in there. Let's see if he has the green light or the red light. It's driven over
nice
into
shot.
center field. A really nice hit by Marcus Tercero. Zeke is going to easily score as he steps on home plate. Marcus holds up at first.
That was a beautiful shot by Marcus Cicero right up the center.
I agree.
Brings up Morales.
Alfredo Morales, his first at bat was a single. Got Marcus Cicero standing at first. One out here. We're in the bottom of the third. Here comes the pitch. It's driven over down the right field line, and it's going to be foul. And yes, it hits the turf foul.
We got to confirm that, huh?
Yep.
For strike number 1 here. And that sun is coming in his window and burning me up, brother.
I kind of got the shade over
I
here,
know
which
it.
is good and bad.
Did Charlie bring an umbrella for himself out there?
He's getting a tan.
I know that the game Saturday when he was out there, he got burned.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, sir.
So he didn't get a tan?
I don't know. I think he got more burned than a tan, but he has a ball cap on today and
Yeah.
shades.
Shades?
Yeah, ball cap and the shades. He's
His-
unrecognizable.
His future's bright. Got to wear them shades.
Got to wear them shades. That's strike 2 on this young man.
All right, so Morales in there with an 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch. It's a big breaking ball. He hits it over toward the shortstop. Shortstop scoops it up, and he's going to try to throw it toward first. Oh, and by a half a smidge,
Wow.
they get him at first base, so Morales is out with the ground out.
That was a bang play, but he did his job. He moved over the runner toward second by the name of Marcus Cicero, and this brings up Gio Chacon to bat here with 2 outs.
And Gio had a line drive out in his first at bat. Another one of these seniors on this senior-heavy Eunice Cardinal team. Here comes the pitch. It's driven foul over the over the dugout over there into the corner.
Had to play, huh? For strike number 1. The score right now is 5-1. Eunice leads here in the bottom of the third. Gotta put more runs on the score, coach.
Yeah. So Gio's back in there. He's ready. Barrett on the hill for Symer. Kicks and fires. That ball's high and inside for ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Got a 5-1 game going here in a beautiful Eunice, New Mexico evening. Wind just a slight breeze blowing out. Here comes the pitch. That ball swung on and missed for strike number 2. That was a strange looking sequence of events there. The pitch looked like it skipped in the dirt. Gio looked like he swung at it twice.
The catcher tagged him when he got the
Yeah.
ball. I was like, what's going on here?
Yeah, a lot of strange stuff going on there. So here comes the next pitch, and that ball's driven down the first base line. It's going to be foul.
So Gio Chacon stays alive with count being 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Marcus was already on third.
That's a whole bunch of pitches to only be a 1-2 count.
A lot of foul balls there.
Yeah.
Got to put it in play there, Gio.
So Gio steps back in. He's ready. Here comes the pitch. They fire it toward home. It's outside for ball number 2. The catcher was trying to frame it back in there, but he tried to jerk it back over there about 1.5 feet. And
Been a
they didn't
big
get it.
jerk back, huh? He's going to throw his arm out doing that.
So lots of 2s on the board. Number 2 at the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and that ball is way outside for ball number 3. So we got a full count here to Gio Chacon. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the third. The score is 5-1. Gio Chacon at the plate. Sean Barrett on the hill for Symer. He takes a look at his catcher, gives him the yes head shake. Kicks and fires. That ball's hit foul.
Staying alive, man. Look, more
Man.
pitches you see, the better off you are hitting it. Fouls it back. The count remains the same. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And poor Marcus has to run all the way back to second. That kid is probably exhausted by now.
Yeah, Marcus is definitely getting a workout. He ain't had a workout like this since early in football
Football, yeah.
season.
He was our center for a little bit, huh? Till he got hurt.
Was he?
Yes, sir.
I didn't know he played center. I thought Jules was the center. Oh, there's a swing on and a miss for strike number 3.
It was high fastball. Got him. Gio Chacon went down on strikes. Eunice scores 1 run in that inning. He strands 1 on. And that ends the bottom of the third. The score is 5-1. Shout out to our sponsors. Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, City of Eunice, Redbird Gas, Eunice Public Schools, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, and Eunice Wrecker and Rentals. Our proud sponsors of today's game.
at the high school level, you know how they were having all that troubles last year before last, where they were getting these pitchers for having the sticky stuff on their hands and whatnot?
I'm listening.
Has that been a problem at the high school level?
No, sir.
Nothing?
No, sir.
Is that something they even check for? Is it allowed? Can you have one of those bags on the mound with you?
No, you can. Like a chalk. You can have the chalk, the powder, but nothing is sticky. And on your wooden bats, you can't have pine tar a certain height on there. And some districts even don't even allow it.
Right. That's what I was wondering, is if that was even.
In these smaller schools, no, but I haven't heard anything in the 4A and the bigger,
Right.
more competitive schools. And I'm not saying we're not competitive. I'm just saying those bigger schools seem to have more coaches, more access to those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think you made the comment earlier in the season that next year they're going to aluminum bats, correct?
Yes, that is what I understand, is that they'll be going back to the aluminum bats next year. They've tried this wood thing for the last, it's been, 6 years or so that they went to these?
Yes, sir.
And now they'll go back to the.
We had a few changes on. I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Oh, no
Coach.
problem.
A few changes on the field. We have Jonathan on second base, Zeke Benton on third, and we have Gorgeous George, the blondie, behind the mound. I mean, behind home
the
plate,
plate.
catching.
Yeah, that is a bunch of
Little changes.
changes.
I'm glad to see Jonathan out there. He didn't get to play. He wasn't feeling a little under the weather yesterday. Had to rush him in and give him an IV.
Oh, yeah, that
Yes,
ain't no
sir.
good.
No, so I'm glad to see him out there. Hopefully he does something good. If not, he's out there running around.
Probably had too much partying for prom.
That's the first thing Mom and Dad said.
Yeah, especially when you're giving IVs.
He thought he was in Vegas. I want to
Yeah.
go to what's that? The oxygen tank or what's it
Yeah,
called?
shoot, there ain't nothing better for one of them prom party
I
nights.
wouldn't
than,
know.
Well, I don't either, but I just heard that once. But anyway, an IV will take care of you. It's 5-1 here. We're in the top of the fourth. Micah Tippett on the hill, the left-hander. He throws that big breaking ball in there. He's facing number 9. That's Price. That's Caden Price. Unknown grade level for him. It wasn't listed.
As big as he is, he might be a sophomore.
Yep. So here comes the next pitch. That ball is on the outside corner. Looked a little outside to me, but hey, it's in favor of the Cardinals, so I'm all for it. I like it.
I like it like that, huh?
I do. Anytime it goes in favor of Eunice, I'm for it. There's the next pitch. It's swung on and missed for strike number 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Price.
Micah doing a good job keeping those batters off balance.
Yep.
Throwing it outside and back inside. And here comes the fastball. Sure enough, it's hit towards
Left field.
who's out there? Gio?
All the way over toward the wall. He scoops it up and fires it just throws it right into second.
Second
So
base.
a nice throw by Gio.
He did a good job letting that ball not get to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Very good job there. Gio Chacon is fast and has a great arm.
So
It's a
this will
good
bring up
combination.
number 11, Steele. Ben Steele. Like I said, not to be confused with Ben Steele-er. He steps up into the right-handed batter's box. Runner at first. Tippett on the hill. He throws that toward home, and it
What was
is
wrong with that
low, I'm assuming, for ball number 1, but I'm not sure.
It looked good from here. I ain't gonna lie one bit on that.
I was waiting on a call, and I didn't hear anything or see the arm pop up 3 or 4 seconds late.
I guess it's a ball. And I'm not going to contest that at all. That is a ball right there.
We might need some syrup on his fingers on that one, because it looked kind of like it slipped out of his hand on the release.
Does he lick his fingers? I haven't paid attention to this
I
picture.
don't know. I get a little dirt in them if he does. Here comes the next pitch. That's a nice pitch and an even better hit over into left field. Chacon scoops it up, throws it back in. So we've now got runners at first and second.
On that ball went out because our shortstop was coming in because somebody was stealing towards second. So got him out of position. So they got 2 runners on first and second.
With no outs.
With no outs, brings up who, Fernando?
This is Hernandez, number 10.
Christian.
And he is a Christian. So
I don't
he
know if he's
steps up in there. And there's going to be a bunt. It's a nice looking bunt right down the line. The pitcher scoops it up. That's Tippett. Throws it over to first. He gets the lead off. The
Yeah.
lead runner.
Hernandez did his job moving the runners over towards second and third. Now they are in scoring position with 1 out. It brings up Kid is walking fast toward this batter's box.
This
Number
is
two.
number 2. He's going to be a Clausen, Joshua Clausen, the senior.
That's a huge bat that young man has. Look at that.
That bat's bigger than he is.
I'll agree
He
with you.
steps up into that right-handed batter's box, and he is ready. Tippett ready as well. Runners at second and third as they were advanced on that bunt. That last play. They're going to bunt again. They bunt right toward home plate, and the pitcher scoops it up
And does his
and
job.
reaches over and tags the runner coming home out, so they get the runner before he can score.
That looked like a Little League play. Everybody was there. Michael's like, what are you doing? He just tagged him. Okay,
Yeah.
bud. If you want to go sit down, I'll tag you.
Yeah,
So
it was
that's out number
definitely,
2.
Definitely another
'Cause
strange-looking play.
Michael looked confused. Like, what? You're supposed to stay on third.
So we've now got 2 outs. They're back to the top of the lineup. We'll have Haywood coming up to the plate.
You missed it. You got to see George go out to call a timeout, do the whole sign type of deal.
Oh, yeah?
Like if he steals, had his helmet off. It looked like a real deal.
Well, if his helmet was off, I don't know how you saw anything. That head's so shiny with all that
Blonde hair?
platinum. That's platinum. That ain't blonde. That's
Who
platinum.
did
right
that
there.
for him?
I don't know, but
Did Rodriguez do it for him?
there is no telling. There is a dry foul.
You're not going to tell nobody, huh?
I have no idea who did it. I just
You know everything, Jimmy. I know you know.
well, but see, what people don't understand is my house is always full of kids. So every kid in the community. I've got a senior. I got a sophomore. Last night there were kids in my house till after 10. Finally had to say, "Are we going to bed at some point, folks?" But there's a drive right down the line. Ontivero scoops it up and fires it over to first for the out. What a play by Platinum.
By Platinum, he almost ran into the player coming home from third.
Wow.
Had to avoid him, the pitcher. Threw it to Marcus, and Marcus stretched out for his life and caught that ball.
That was
beautiful
nice.
job.
That was nice.
Very
nice
beautiful
play
job.
there by Jorge Ontiveros, a.k.a. number 1 in our hearts,
Did you call him
a.k.a.
Platinum?
Platinum.
A.K.A. Jorgito.
Spinderella as he spun around and threw that one over to first, hoping it would get
A.K.A.
there.
the next catcher for the Eunice Cardinals. So that being said, no runs were scored there. The score remains 5-1. Eunice leads here at the bottom of the 4th. Shout out to our sponsors, Eunice Wrecking and Rentals, Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Redbird Gas, City of Eunice, Eunice Public School, and Cardinal Hardware and Lumber. A shout out to Becky Nogelmeyer. Her 28th birthday is today, so go by their house and paper their house, or what's that, toilet paper their tree if they have one for her birthday. So
Yeah,
Jimmy
just-
Jones said to do.
Just don't accidentally toilet paper the neighbors. I mean, but
Oh,
if
do
you
them
want-
both if you're there. Do them both. I'm joking. Jimmy's like, they do that. You gonna get it, huh?
Yeah, you can definitely toilet paper the Nogelmeyers all you want. I mean, they like stuff like that. They like community involvement and having some folks over there do a little toilet paper, and it's just, they want kids in this community to have things to do in their spare time, and what better things to do than something like that.
And they make it very possible by sponsoring this and, like you said earlier, other things in the community that they go unknown or unrecognized. So
Well, and they'll probably sponsor like some bags of toilet paper, like if you need them for doing their house, not mine. But
well, they can just go by Eunice Pump and Supply and put it on that tab.
that's right. That's right. I concur. So
We
anyway,
missed you last night. They said you weren't here. We
I
had a
was-
good time. Me and Charlie thought we did good.
I think y'all did too. I was at the track meet. I listened to a little bit of it on my way home.
And you're like, you turned it off, right?
No,
Once you
I
got
was,
on the highway.
I was listening. I had it going. I
We had a
thought-
hard time getting everything going. I showed up late because I had to pick up Chloe from that after-school program.
right.
And got here, and I
You
got
know-
a couple of texts.
What I have figured out is sometimes when we leave everything up, sometimes you have to like unplug the power to the box just to kind of it reboots itself for some reason.
We
But
did that last night right before we left.
Yeah.
We unplugged that. I said, we'll unplug this one, main power that one. When we showed up, I don't know how it was because once again, I'm like the blister, showed up late.
Shoot, when I got here, Charlie, he not only had it all going, he was already on the air.
By golly, that's
Yeah,
my boy.
he was going over some stats. He was ready. He
I'm
had,
telling you. And I was coming up the steps. Like, you can stay there, Charlie. He's like, no. He took him off real quick. He said no.
it's like I'm out of here.
So all that talk, Micah Tippett's in the batter's box with 2 balls.
And there's
Swing.
a drive over toward the second baseman. Second baseman comes in, scoops it up. He can't get it there in time, and Micah Tippett hustling down the line.
He's
gonna get
seen
a
that
single.
blur. He's seen that white blur coming at him like, throw the ball, but he
It was
didn't
the
throw the ball.
flash. I mean, if he would did that platinum look to his hair, He'd have blinded everybody with the flash that he had going there. So speaking of platinum, Jorge Ontiveros steps up here to the plate. Number 24, number 1 in our hearts, and he's platinum to everybody. He's in that right-handed batter's box. Micah Tippett takes off at first. He's headed for second, and he is there safely with a stolen base.
Made that look easy. Slid under the tag. Does a pop-up slide on the other side of the bag. So
kind of looked like he was at Slitterbomb heading down one of them big water slides as he went sliding through there. Ontiveros with a 1-0 count. Steps back in and he's ready. There's a drive into the gap. It's going to get through. Tippett headed for third. He's going to hold up there. And Ontiveros with a single advances the runner as well.
good base hitting by Jorge. Moving that ball over. Getting it on base as well. So that brings up Tucker up the bat.
Chance Tucker. He's got a strikeout, and then he was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Runners at the corners as Ontiveros is on first, Micah Tippett on third, and we're going to have a courtesy, I think is what they call it.
Yes, sir.
I used to call him a pinch, or not a pinch, a pinch runner, but we don't call him that anymore. We call him a courtesy.
Yes, sir. We call him courtesy. I'm sorry for laughing.
So now they're a courtesy. And so we've got a courtesy on first. We've got a base runner on third. And we've got Chance Tucker at the plate, the right-hander. Here he goes. Here's the pitch, and oh my goodness, it almost like
Hit him again, huh?
yeah.
You were wrong lying about that blonde hair coming in trying to hit him
It's that mullet wave. It draws the energy.
towards his head.
Yes, it does something to the aerodynamics.
And that poor kid is very narrow. That has to hurt when they hit him in the back.
Yeah, it gets some bone when it hits that young man. Oh, there's a foul ball.
Reaches out there but fouls it back. The count is 1-1.
1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. It's a 5-1 ball game here. We're in the bottom of the 4th. Eunice in the lead. Got runners at second and third. Chance Tucker at the plate. Sean Barrett on the hill. There's a drive into the gap in left center field. It may skip over.
And it does.
Oh, and it skips over the wall.
Don
So
has he comes home? Oh, yeah, he's on second.
it's going to score 2 runs. So a 2 RBI ground rule double by Tucker.
Nice shot there, man. Good, strong hit. So that being said, their coaches, the Bobcat coach, will come out and talk to their pitcher.
Yeah, so it looks like we got a pitcher change coming here for the Symer Bobcats. Maybe.
Yes. That always happens to poor number 4. Every time he gets in, they change the pitcher on the young man.
Well, they don't want him to get too comfortable up
I
there.
know. They see those big old thunder thighs coming out and get a hit. They put their pitcher in, their third baseman. What number is that? I can't tell.
So the pitcher heads to shortstop. The shortstop heads to third base. And the third base heads to the pitcher's mound.
Wagner.
That's number 5, Colt Wagner. Not to be confused with the Colt Firearms. We'll see if he's got a gun on him. He's going to step up here. We'll see if he's an AR-15 or a shotgun. What exactly Colt's firing here. Here comes the pitch. I'm going to give him AR-15 status. I mean, he's firing AR-15. I don't know that it's, like anything super like a 50 cal, but he's got a little juice. So it's
Yes, he has an awkward delivery. It's kind of like a 3/4 throw.
kind of a 2-2-3.
Yeah, I'll say a 2-2-3 ladder general area. Yeah.
All right,
Well,
so
we'll see what he does.
He's on there warming up. Got kind of a strange looking little delivery.
So that being said, give a shout out to our sponsors: City of Eunice, Redbird Gas, Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Wrecker and Rentals, Carl Hardware and Lumber, and Eunice Public Schools. Our proud sponsors of today's baseball game, and we have one more this week, which is Saturday, and that is senior night for the track seniors and the baseball seniors. So please come out here and support your seniors for the spring sports they play. And the games will be against Jao, New Mexico, correct? Or
Yeah.
am I lying? Let me check.
No, I think you're right. I think that is. I think that's correct.
Let me look as we look at my schedule here.
Yeah. So looks like they're about ready here. Eunice gonna have runner standing at second, which is Chance Tucker. Number 5 on the hill now. That's Colt Wagner. Wagoner.
Good
Kinda like a Jeep Wagoneer, but without the
Jeep part.
near and the Jeep.
So they do play Jow here. So let's come on and pack the crowd, man. Pack the stands and show support for the track team and the baseball seniors.
And is that a double?
Yes, sir.
Double header?
Talking about track, how did they do yesterday in the track meet in Hobbs?
You know, very, very strange is all I can say. I think we only took like 8 kids over there. And we ran a medley relay, which we've never done before, I guess, just to give it a shot. All I can say was strange deal. Anyway, so here comes Caballero. Here's the first pitch. It's low and outside, skips away. Runner's headed over to third. He's going to get there safely as Tucker ends up on third. 1 ball, no strikes here to Caballero.
Squared up the bunt, tried to get that runner over, and he did his job. The guy wasn't a strike, pulled back, and the ball got away from the catcher, like you said. So now he's in scoring position with 0 outs here.
You know, one thing that was really neat about yesterday's track meet is they ran the 4x1 against Hobbs and Portales, and Portales definitely had their best group out there. Not sure whether Hobbs did or not, but they beat them both. Had a really good time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, Jonathan reaches out for strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Got a little anxious in there.
The 4x1, our girls look really salty. Not quite as strong in the other ones yet, but the 4x1, they look really salty. What in the world was that? The whole.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. The runner comes home and he scores off the ball's hitting towards third base. Jonathan's out at first, but was that an RBI?
RBI. I think that would count as an RBI for Jonathan.
So that's out number 1. As Tucker does a great job coming home from third as the ball was hit towards third baseman. He committed to first, getting Jonathan out, but we got to run in. So the score is 8-1. It brings up Zeke Benton up the bat.
So Zeke steps into that right-handed batter's box.
Ooh.
There's that first pitch. It's way inside for ball number 1. Tried to come back.
I thought I was going to hit him for a second, but it did not.
So that makes it, what is that, 8? Yeah, 8-1. Eunice in the lead here. There's a drive right up toward the gap. It's going to get into center field. And so Zeke standing on first after another single for Zeke.
We're doing a good job right now hitting the ball on the ground into perfect spots where nobody's at.
Zeke's got 2 singles and a double and an RBI here today. So he's had a pretty good day so far. And that'll bring up Sticks.
Stinson.
Number 14, Sean Stinson. He's got a strikeout and a fly out here so far. I would be surprised. There he goes already. Zeke headed for second. He had a huge jump, and he's in there safely.
He wasted no time.
It was a big jump, and it was a good thing he got that jump because the catcher made a good throw. And he had that big jump, and he got there just in time.
That helped him out quite a bit. So that's ball 1 on Stinson. Oh. You gonna call that a strike? So it's 1-1.
He likes that that inside line of the left-handed batter's box. If that ball comes down that line, it's a strike.
Is that part of home plate?
Yes. Yeah, see, that was the right-handed line.
It was too
yeah.
far out, huh?
Yeah, that was the other side of that batter's box. That was too far out, but
Missed that one by a smidge, huh? So that being said, the ball goes by the catcher, and Zeke Benton advances to third, so he is now in scoring position for the Eunice Cardinals.
So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in an 8-1 ball game. Eunice in the lead. Symer, Texas on the field wearing the away blue. There is a high fly ball
And we know
over
they've had
towards
issues.
second, and they do catch that one. And now they're going to send it back in. So Stinson with a fly out.
I like how you said that. And they do catch that one. So that's 2 outs for the Eunice Cardinals.
That'll bring Marcus Tercero. I saw a deal on social media where Jow had been test firing some rockets today. Some of these fly balls that we're hitting here in Cardinal Field today look kind of like those Jow rockets as they're heading up. And that ball is low and outside, almost gets away from the catcher. Catcher does a good job of keeping it in front of him.
If not, we would have scored another run there because Zeke Benton was halfway down that baseline.
He was thinking hard about it. They have a mess up here. We'll put another run on the board. And there's a high inside breaking ball that doesn't quite come back enough for 1 ball, 1 strike. I'm sorry, 2 balls,
2
no
balls,
strikes.
We're so used to getting that outside pitch called a strike.
Yep, so here comes the windup from Wagner. He throws that one inside. Marcus with a big swing and a miss.
He went fishing on that one.
He did. He did.
And the wind's not as blowing as hard anymore. That's good.
Just a little breeze out towards center. 2 balls, 1 strike here to the senior, Marcus Tercero. 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 4th. And that ball's right in that area that he seems to like, but he calls that one a ball.
I seen that hand come up. I was going
He-
to call it a strike,
yep.
and I seen you hesitate to
He
call
even had
make
the
that call.
finger out, like E.T. And
Maybe.
he thought about it, and then he stood it up and said 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. There's a dry foul right back into the netting.
Marcus staying alive out there.
Like John Travolta. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. We've got a full count here with 2 outs. Runner standing at third is Zeke. He's thinking, please let me run in there.
Come on home, huh?
Number 2-2, Marcus Tercero, trying to dry them hands off. He's choked up on that bat, and he's ready. It's like I just need some contact. Here comes the pitch, and it's outside for ball number 4, and that'll send Tercero over to first. Eunice now has runners at the corners in Marcus Tercero and Zeke Benton. Number 11,
Morales.
Alfredo Morales, comes up to the plate. He's got a single and a ground out that he almost beat out his last at bat. I would say Marcus will be headed. There he goes. That ball's
Nice
driven
hit.
into left field,
left.
over toward the left fielder, and the left fielder makes a nice catch. It was a good hit ball there by Morales.
That left fielder took maybe 1 step to the left and caught it. It was a nice, strong hit ball, but straight to him. So the Eunice Cardinals scored 3 runs. They strand 2 on. And we go here to the top of the 5th inning. Shout out to our sponsors, Eunice Wrecker and Rentals, City of Eunice Redbird Gas, Eunice Public Schools, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Pump and Supply, Parker Energy Service, and one more time, Eunice Wrecker and Rentals. And Micah Tippett is still on the mound for the Eunice Cardinals.
Trying to work that left arm a little bit.
Trying to get it stretched out.
Mm-hmm.
But he's doing a good job right now. He's keeping that Bobcats off balance. And sometimes that's all you need to do is keep them off balance and let your defense do something out there.
So when you start talking baseball, there are some things that I'm not very great at as far as terminology. So Stinson started on the mound. When he left, we had a 2-1 lead, I believe.
Mhm.
Ever since then, we've had Tippett on the hill, and we're up 8-1. If the game ends like this, Stinson gets the win and he gets the save. How does that
I think
work?
the only time it becomes a save when well, what was I gonna say?
When you take the mound with the lead and hold it on, I think that's a save.
Yeah, if it
But I don't know if you get a save if you pitch more innings than the
starter.
starter and put 4 times as many runs on the board while you were on the hill. I don't know how that works. That's why
It kind of contradicts yourself if you look at it that way.
That's why I was asking, is that a win and a save? Somebody out there maybe listening that knows, let me know. So when Stinson left the mound, we were up 2-1.
He had the lead.
Yep. In the second, it is now all work the last 3 innings, going 4, has been Tippett. We lead 8-1. Does that end up being a save, a win and a save? I'm not certain. I think terminology it would, but I'm not certain.
And that's baseball. It's weird like that.
Yes. Like I always say, it's the only sport where you can run out there and chest bump an official or an umpire or whatever you want to call them and scream and holler at them with tobacco running down your face.
And it's funny you bring that up again because yesterday with that guy who got thrown out,
yeah,
he was pleading his case up here in the stands, and the umpire's like, dude, just get out, man. Come on. So brings up Sean Barrett up the bat for the Bobcats.
So Barrett heads up to the right-handed batter's box. He was the starting pitcher for this Bobcat team. Here comes the first pitch. It's driven high and foul over toward people's vehicles, and I would guess that got a car for sure.
They went a long ways. It
Yeah,
took forever to fall down.
I mean, if you've got car damage, it was probably caused by Sean Barrett, number 7, the junior. So here comes the next pitch. That ball's
Ooh.
a huge swing on a huge breaking ball by Tippett. That was a good-looking pitch.
It started over that first base. He came right back over the plate, man. The
Yeah.
kid swung at it. So that's strike number 2. Beautiful job there. Ooh, outside corner barely misses that white line to be ball number 1. If Jorge could learn how to frame that ball, he would have been in great shape on that one, right?
Yeah.
But that comes with experience, I guess. Ooh. And everybody goes, ooh, in the crowd to clean myself. So the count is 2-2 on Barrett.
2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. We are in the top of the 5th.
Throw him a fastball, bud.
Here comes the windup and the pitch.
Oh, and he went. He went. Check the umpire over there.
Hey,
Oh,
it's not even.
Oh.
There.
he had a delay as well.
Yeah,
As Jorge
man.
points towards
I
first
think
base.
both of them got delays.
Nobody's watching the game out there. Come on. So it's a full count on Barrett. Micah gets ready, delivers the pitch for strike number 3, but it was not called. So he drew a walk after he.
That must be something that Smyer's team does when they walk or whatever, where they do that little run thing down to first.
It might be a Texas thing.
Maybe.
I respect that.
Yeah. Was it the same guy that did that last time? Oh, okay. Yeah, so anyway, so here we go. And they fire back over and the runner slides into
Did you see what
first.
Marcus did?
Yeah.
He caught the ball high and he turned around like if the ball was back there. That's a good acting there, bud.
So that put on here that he got a walk. So that brings up Clausen to the plate, the left-hander. That ball skips off Ontiveros' shin guard, goes over toward the backstop, and that'll advance the
That's
runner.
the first pass ball on Ontiveros as catcher.
Yep.
That's a
And-
very good job. This is his 3rd game.
And that one hit his shin guard, so it reflected over a little farther than normal.
So the runner did advance to second. I don't know if you said that or not, but I'm pretty sure you did.
I did, but it'll be all right. So here comes the next pitch from Tippett. That ball swung on and grounded over toward first. The coach for Smyer jumps in, barehands it, fires it over to the pitcher.
I've always wondered on something like that, if the coach throws it back towards the pitcher and the pitcher misses the ball, hits him in the head, and cannot continue.
Well, shoot, he'd probably sue. Probably sue the Eunice Public Schools. We
It's
get
just
sued.
like,
or
dude, for everything
at
and
least we
anything.
think we're going to get sued
Oh.
all the time. So
Get him, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him. A no-look throw towards third. And the runner is there safely as the ball skipped away a little by
yeah,
Jorge.
it was kind of a strange sequence of events, as we've had a few of those here today.
It's just been a strange afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, when there's a wind that quit blowing in, it really be strange.
Yeah, because that's not normal at all.
At all.
So here we go. Here goes Tippett. He takes the sign, gives the kick, and here's the throw. That ball's driven foul over toward the first base dugout.
So the count is 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out.
To number 3, Caleb Clausen, the sophomore.
And they have a runner on third.
Yes, they do, with no outs.
This is the second time they've had a runner that far after the first inning. The first inning they had bases loaded, and after that nobody's got on base, pretty much.
So here comes the pitch. It's driven over toward the first baseman. First baseman steps up, scoops it.
He does a
He
good job.
faked, yeah. He faked the runner back because the runner was leaving third, headed toward home. Cesaro does a really good job. It looked awkward, but he did a really
did.
good job of faking him at home. That sent the runner back, and then he ran over and stepped on first. So he saved a run, got the out. Good job by Cesaro.
He did like a pump fake, didn't he?
Something.
The whole shoulder rotated forward, and
Yeah.
that runner froze over here on third. So, good job, Marcus.
So here comes the next pitch. Oh,
Oh,
that's where he likes them, right out
Yeah.
there in that area. So that is strike number 1.
it just takes it takes forever to get the result out, but hell, I mean, it's a strike.
So no balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. It's a big breaking ball that just doesn't quite get back where we needed it to get.
That pitcher has a smile every time that breaking ball don't pitch. And look at him. He just smiles, a big old grin on his face. Did you hear that?
I did. I've heard all kinds of
Are they
strange
taking this building
noises.
apart underneath us?
I'm not sure. I'm thinking our school board may have voted to dismantle the press box with us in it.
As
Maybe
the-
our school admin did. They're like, we'll get that guy Jones to shut up one way or the
Eventually,
other.
huh? So the pitcher caught that ball, who normally is a center fielder, but he does not have his center fielder glove on, so he did a good job with that infielder glove on, huh?
Yeah.
So out number 2.
Yep. So that was a fly out there.
That means 2 outs. The Bobcats have a runner on third, and brings up number 5, their new pitcher. I can't find his name. Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner. That's Colt Wagner.
As we're having difficulties with that big old helmet, catcher's helmet, and get that fixed, give a shout out to our sponsors, City of Eunice, Redbird Gas, Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Wrecker and Rentals, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, and Eunice Public Schools, our proud sponsors of today's game.
So Platinum having trouble with the Platinum cover. Can't quite get his dome covered up over there. He's got to cover that thing up, though, because it's getting hard to see.
Do you think his dome is bigger than the other kid's dome that he wears out all the time? Because the other
Those are big domes
I'm
right there.
telling you, man, you got the Astrodome and the New Orleans Dome again.
And I know a big dome when I see one because mine's kind of big, but those are big domes.
I ain't gonna argue nothing at all right there. I mean, no objection from me, Your Honor. So
yeah,
we gotta fix back on the dome.
All right, so Ontiveros back behind home plate. He's ready. Number 5, Colt Wagner, the senior, steps into the right-handed batter's box. We're in an 8-1 game here in the top of the 5th. Runner at third, only 2 outs here. I was about to say 1, but 2 outs here. Here comes the pitch. That ball's swung on foul. That makes it 0-1.
Quiet right there, huh?
Yeah, got quiet for a second.
Just give it my voice. I got tired last night talking. I don't know how you do that. On the second game, my voice was hurting. I was like, dude, help.
Yeah, the doubleheaders are rough. So here's another
Ooh.
swing and a miss.
There's a beautiful changeup on the outside corner. Number 5, Wagner was a little bit confused there.
Kind of frozen.
Yeah.
So Tippett going to step back onto the mound, the left-handed senior pitcher for the Cardinals. We've got an 0-2 count here with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It's swung on and hit right back over toward Tippett. Tippett fields it cleanly, flips it over to first for the out.
Makes a beautiful throw towards
Nice
first. Huh?
job by Micah Tippett.
Micah Tippett took care of 2 outs of that inning, and Marcus took care of 1. As number 2 for Symer sprints out to the right field, or left field.
Oh, yeah.
He's already out of the gate, so
Is that the same guy that does all the... No, that's a different
that's
one.
a different guy. That's Josh. Well, anyway, shout out to our sponsors: Eunice Wrecker and Rentals, Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, Eunice Health Clinic, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, Eunice Public Schools, City of Eunice, and Redbird Gas. So Symer strands 1 on, and we are going to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score is 8-1 here in beautiful Eunice, New Mexico. And we have a little bit of different situation on the field. We have Jorge Ontiveros catching, Zeke Benton on third. And I think that's probably the ones we hardly ever see in those spots for the Eunice Cardinals.
Zeke on third.
Yes, when I'm playing defense.
Oh, yeah.
He usually plays shortstop. That's the first time I've seen him play third.
Yeah, I concur. I concur.
And they're doing a great job right now.
Yeah, it's definitely, this Eunice Cardinal team this year, and I'll probably jinx them, and I'll have people like Heath Dean tell me you can't say that stuff in baseball, but they are solid.
Yes.
I mean, they have an absolute solid team. The thing about sports is on any given night, it doesn't matter how solid you are, you can get beat. But this group as a whole is just so solid. Just about every Eunice baseball team I've ever watched has always had one spot on the field that you went, ooh, I hope they don't hit it over there. Or, ooh, I'm not sure I want that person up to bat in this situation. I don't really see that this year. We've got, all the way down, and I know that, I'm not bad-mouthing any of these kids at all, but typically when you look at a lineup, your 7, 8, 9 is usually, in baseball, that's typically your weaker batters as far as on-base percentage, that sort of thing. I can guarantee you, I look at our 7, 8, 9, and I'm like, man, I'm perfectly comfortable with any of those kids coming up to the plate in an important situation, and as I am with the rest of the lineup. We've got a good, solid group. Speaking of number 9 hitter, Gio Chacon, a senior, steps up here.
And not just that being said, they have a solid group starting, and they have a solid group on the bench.
Yes,
They're just salty all the way around, man.
I agree. They've got young men that can step off that bench into those spots, and we don't lose anything.
Yeah.
And so Gio Chacon takes ball number 1. 1 ball, no strikes here. No outs. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Eunice leads 8-1. If they could put, 3 runs on the board, we would head home for burgers.
Head home for burgers.
There's a drive right up toward the gap. Shortstop trying to get there. He gets there. He slings
Oh,
it over
it's
toward
safe.
first, and Gio Chacon gets the safe call from the umpire as he beats it out. What a run there by Gio Chacon.
And Gio Chacon was not, that was not his full speed.
Yeah.
He has one more gear right there, and I know he does.
Yeah,
That young man was just.
he was spinning the tires in
Yeah.
the low gear, but he gets
he goes-
there.
He said, "Watch this, boys."
We're back to the top of the lineup. Micah Tippett, who's been on the mound for us for the last 4 or 5 innings, steps up into the right-handed batter's box. That ball gets away from the catcher.
And he's going to third.
And, oh, my goodness, he's lost his marbles, and he's also lost the play at third base. I'm not sure what was happening there or why we did that.
Look at Coach just staring at him. What in the world were you doing, son?
So Gio Chacon was on first. There was a pass ball. He didn't even slow down at second. He turned second like he was headed for a triple, and the ball was at third when he wasn't halfway there, and he's tagged out. So anyway, that was a strange play. We've had a few of those today. Micah Tippett in
that's
the
2
left-handed
balls.
batter's box. It's
Yes.
a 2-0 count. Yeah, I don't even know what to
Gio.
say about that.
Did he hear me tell me he was running slow or something? He just took
I don't
off
know,
on
but
that boy.
I needed 3 runs scored here. That ball's hit over towards second. Second baseman picks it up, flips it over to first, and he's going to get Tippett on the ground out.
For out number 2.
Yep.
That fast, 2 batters, 2 outs.
Yeah, things were looking really, really, really positive for just a couple of minutes. And then quickly, we've got 2 outs. Here comes Platinum, a.k.a. Jorge Ontiveros, number 24 in the field, but number 1 in our hearts, up to the plate. And he swings at a ball that's way outside and tips it off for strike number 1.
And he is a catcher for tonight. He did not start off as catcher, but he came in and he's doing a very good job behind the plate.
This young man's headed to play some college baseball next year, so we wish him the best. There is a low and outside.
See, on that
pitch.
ball, if Gio Chacon was on, he would have made it to third on that ball right there.
Yeah, easily.
The what ifs don't exist, right?
Mm-mm.
So the count is 1-1 on Jorgito. Almost called him Platinum.
Yep, so he steps in there. He's ready. There's a
Ooh.
dry foul. Platinumito hit that one over here foul.
You just making up words, dude. You can't be doing that on live air. They're gonna rate us off our education at Platinumito.
So Platinumito with the foul ball. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here. And he takes a
Reaches over.
huge cut at that one. Heads down to first. They throw it over, and he is out on the strikeout and then thrown out over there.
The Cardinals go out 3 up, 3 down. No runs were scored, no runners were left on.
That is the first 0 that has been left up there in any inning for the Cardinals.
And that's when we needed more runs in that inning.
Mm-hmm.
So that being said, the Cardinals do not have any changes on the field. Tippett is still on the mound.
Want to make sure we shout out to some of these sponsors: Eunice, Wrecker, and Rental, John Dean Davis and family, Parker Energy Services, Brett and Penny Parker, and all the Parker staff and clan. We appreciate you guys. I even got a little cousin, I believe, that's still working down there as the other Erica Jones, as we refer to her. She probably refers to our household as the other Erica Jones, but and they've got the J. Jones at the head of household and the other Erica Jones over there. So we get all their UPS packages, and she's always doing all those things that she makes and blankets and things like that.
Didn't their son get student of the year?
Yes, the middle school student of the year. My man Tyson Jones, shout out to him. He's a pretty neat little character, and just a neat kid for sure. So shout out to them. Eunice Pump and Supply, Becky Nogelmeyer, she's 29 today. Make sure everyone does give her a shout out and wish her a happy birthday. Turning 29 is no easy feat. Brandon Matthews and all the crew. The Eunice Health Clinic, Leanne Reeves, Brian, Nikki, Elma, Aaron, Danny, Casey, Bobby, and all the gang down there at the Eunice Health Clinic, keeping everybody healthy. Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, the Davises, the Myers, and all the gang, Eunice Public Schools, the City of Eunice, and Redbird Gas, Bart Parker and crew. So we appreciate you guys. We appreciate all that you do. And it looks like we are getting ready to kick off, if that's a word you can use in baseball, the 6th inning here.
Kick off, huh? Kick off the 6th inning in a baseball game.
Yep.
That's something new.
Definitely. Keep them on their toes around this place.
Yeah, but at least they give something to listen to, something to laugh about. Right?
Mm-hmm.
If they're listening.
Yeah, definitely. Some entertainment.
Good, clean entertainment as our cameraman is out there getting some sun. He took his shirt off.
Oh, really?
No, he did
That's not good, clean entertainment. But anyway, so number 9, Price, Caden Price, steps into the right-handed batter's box for the Symer Bobcats. On the hill still is Tippett. There's a pitch that, man, I'm not sure what could have been possibly wrong with that one.
No comment.
Catcher never moved. It hit
No
him right in
comment.
the glove. I just can't quite see it. Anyway, it's called ball 1. Here comes the next pitch. That one's definitely a ball, no doubt. I'm in agreement with the ump on that one, so that way nobody can ever say you always disagree with umps and refs. I agree with that call 100%. And it didn't even go our way.
The count is 2 balls, 0 strikes on here for Price.
And there's a high fly ball right up behind second base. Chance Tucker slides over there, makes an easy catch.
That ball was high. Looked like a Eunice baseball team hitting that ball way up there. Had enough time to come over from shortstop, get over on the right-hand side of second base, call everybody off, and the ball still didn't come down. It finally came down for an out.
That brings up Ben Steele, not to be confused with Ben Steeler. Anyway, he's up, the right-hander. He steps into the batter's box, and there is a big breaking ball called strike number 1.
It wasn't a strike earlier, but we'll take it.
Yep. I like it. Went
I
our
like
way.
it. I do too.
So that is a 0-1 count here, 1 out. We're in the top of the 6th.
Scores 8-1. Eunice leads.
Tippett's next pitch is swung on and missed for strike number 2, so it's a 0-2 count.
Jumping on that batter real quick.
Lots of blue up here in the bleachers today as Symer has traveled well, especially for quite a distance.
Texas, huh? Symer, Texas.
Yep.
Micah delivers a looping curveball that it does not break. Stays high. Unfortunately, does not stay low enough to be in the strike zone. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes on Steeler. Or would say Steele.
Steele without the at the end. He's up there. And that ball is right in that area where the ump has liked him most of the day, and it is not called strike on this one.
I am not going to say a word until he calls a strike.
So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. He steps in there and he's ready. Here comes the pitch. It's a high foul ball. Got to be in somebody's car.
Gio, your truck. Somebody just screamed that. Somebody from the stands are screaming, Gio, your truck.
So apparently Gio's truck got smacked with that foul ball. So he's waving that bat around. He's ready. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here. Here comes the pitch. It's a big breaking ball, and it goes in there for strike number 3, and he knew it.
I didn't want to celebrate because that guy took him a while to throw the hands up. So that strikeout was brought to you by Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, and Eunice Health Clinic. So that's out number 2 here at the top of the 6th inning.
And that'll bring up Hernandez, Christian. He steps up here ready to bat. Tippett with the pitch.
Wow. What?
Whew. Man, oh man. It's a good-looking pitch and no call there. So I'm
Jorge
assuming
did
that's a
not move the
ball.
glove. Mr. Platinum did not move the glove.
1 ball, no strike, 2 outs. It's an 8-1 ball game. We're in the top of the 6th. Here comes the next pitch. And that one called strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike here. This is Hernandez. I've got him as a strikeout and then a bunt that led to an out. That ball is off the glove of Ontiveros. It's a ball.
He just looked at like, you know what? I'm a senior,
Yeah.
bud.
Can you just hand me one out of
Yeah.
your pocket, please? So I don't-
I got blonde hair underneath this helmet.
That's right. Have you seen it? It's platinum.
It's pretty snazzy.
All right, so tip it back on the hill, the left-handed pitcher. It's a 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. It's swung on foul into the netting.
People are wishing over here, huh? So the count is 2-2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here. In Eunice, New Mexico. I was doing something else. I apologize, Coach. Come on
Lots
now,
of
Micah.
twos. Here comes the pitch. That ball swung
Ooh.
on and missed.
For out number 3.
Out number 3 for the strikeout.
He gets 2 strikeouts right here in this inning to end the top of the 6th inning. So
So we slide into the bottom of the 6th. Eunice leads 8-1 here against Symer, Texas. I want to make sure we shout out to them sponsors: Redbird Gas, Bart Parker and Gang, the City of Eunice, Eunice Public Schools. Not sure what was happening. A lot of hollering going
the
on.
Charlie man over here getting people famous.
Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, Eunice Health Clinic, Eunice Pump and Supply, Parker Energy Services, and Eunice Wrecker and Rental. I guess Charlie's out there zooming in on people that are dancing or something, and
Our ratings just jumped. We got 900 people watching now.
yeah, all of a sudden, just in the last 5 minutes, 900 viewers.
Charlie, you keep it up, bud. Put that shirt back on.
Yeah, whatever it is you're doing out there, keep it up. Maybe.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day for a game, man. Other than that sun coming in our face, or mine, you lucky dog. I keep leaning over towards you, but the shade's running out, man.
Just trying to snuggle with me, as
I'm
all.
telling you, I haven't seen you like in 5 days.
I'm, the spot that I've got here when the sun's going down is really pretty good because you have this to block. But every time they hit it down that third base line, I can't see
You
it.
can't see nothing.
So
huh?
I lose it for just a second. Like a while ago when you were saying that ball was hit down the third base line, you thought it was foul, and I'm like, I can't tell because I can't see that.
And that happens to me over here on the on deck circle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And that guy that got thrown out from Texaco was sitting right over here, and like, what's going on? And I finally had to stand up and look over.
I would have been like, yeah. I'd probably done the wave out front.
He would open it. You would have took your mic down there live. So what happened, man?
Yeah.
What you get thrown out for, man?
So now that you've been thrown out, how does it feel?
You might as well go eat, man, because everything's gonna close in 5 minutes, bud.
Are you going to Disney World?
So it means Chance Tucker up the bat for the Eunice Cardinals was Jonathan Coupler on deck, and I do not know who's in the home.
Yeah, I can't tell for sure. So here comes Chance Tucker. We would sure like to see him on base here in a minute. Either that or we'd like to see him knock it over the
Flagpole.
fence. Yeah,
And we sure don't want him to get hit again.
yeah.
That young man gets hit quite a bit.
Man,
Ball number 2.
yeah, looked like a good-looking pitch from up here, but
We are hesitant to call that a ball or a strike, but it is a ball.
yeah.
2 balls, no strikes on Chance Tucker here. Ball 3.
Yeah, so Chance Tucker has got a strikeout. He got hit by a pitch, and then he's got a 2 RBI ground rule double in his last at bat.
Red light or green light?
I'm sure he's got the green. There it is. He drives it over toward the shortstop. Shortstop comes in, scoops it. He comes up firing.
Oh, he's
and
safe.
Tucker is there easily on to first base.
That brings Jonathan Caballero up to bat. Zeke Benton on deck.
So J-Cab, number 4, steps up into the right-handed batter's box.
And third baseman and shortstop flip places out there in the field real quick. You see that?
Yeah, I did. Is that okay? I mean, can you do
guess
that?
so. I'm
don't
going
have
to
to
limb and say
change.
yes.
So, I mean, how much can you change? Can you go from third to first and everything's okay there? I mean,
No, I don't. It depends, I guess.
huh,
I think you could.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe just not your pitcher and catcher? Anybody else can just flip
If you
flip-flop
can,
spots?
if you can want to switch pitcher and catchers, you can be call a timeout and take a little bit longer.
right.
But they just swap real quick, so they make sure our guy picks it up on the books, and that's it.
Interesting.
Back in the days, you weren't able to do that.
I thought you had to play the position they put you in, but like I said, it's funny how baseball, the rules have changed.
I think
the
they
years.
changed it to speed everything up.
Mhm.
People were complaining the game was taking too long.
Yeah.
That being said, Johnson has 2 balls, no strikes. Chance has advanced to second on a stolen base. They changed everything up to make the game faster to keep people more interested.
There's a
Johnson hits the
drive,
ball towards
yes.
center field.
Nice
Should score
hit.
1 run.
Oh, and
the
it's
ball
gonna
gets
get
away from
past him.
Johnson. Oh, no. He stayed on first base. Wisely does.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Tucker
that's a
comes
good-
home.
So he'll get a single RBI out of that deal. So a nice job. He had an RBI his last at bat on a ground out, but this one is a single with an RBI. So that's 2 RBIs for J-Cab here in this ball
Yeah,
game.
he came in at the top of the second inning, bottom of the second inning, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So that'll bring Zeke up to the plate. J-Cab with the big lead already at first base. Second baseman and the shortstop trying to figure out who's going to cover. They're going to throw back over, and that ball's going to get away
Bob.
after it hits J-Cab upside the head.
Whoa.
And so, whoa, yeah. So he slides in head first from about 20 feet from the base.
Did he trip, or was that on purpose?
I think
I think that was purpose. He's trying to slow his sliding skills.
so. He slides into second.
Hope he didn't rip his arms up. If he's grabbing something, or he probably did. He
Yeah.
has oh, you
Ooh,
call it a
so-
strike?
Yeah, I'm telling you, he
Oh, he
likes
does like it.
that inside line of the left-handed batter's box. He likes
Okay.
that chalk line there.
And he's been consistent all night
All
right there.
right
So.
there, he likes it. I'm telling you, and I'm sitting like right in line, and I guarantee you that is on that. Oh, and
Oh.
there is a drive down the right field line by Zeke.
We
It's
should
fair.
get 1 home and
We're going to
1 a
score
double.
a run for sure. He's into second easily. Ooh, they,
Oh, that was
I
close.
tell you what, that second baseman fired it over there and made it a little closer than I thought it was
They're
going to be.
playing hard. That being said, Jonathan came all the way from second base. The score is 10-1 here, and if with no outs, Zeke got a nice hit towards first base. First base dove, but the ball rolled all the way to the wall, and he gets a stand-up double.
So that's 2 doubles for Zeke, 2 RBIs, and 2 singles for Zeke, and that'll bring up Stinson. There's a huge swing and a miss. Stinson in this game has got a strikeout and 2 flyouts. He's hit the ball solid.
And he did a good job pitching up there for 2 solid innings, correct?
Yeah.
Or was it 2.5? I don't know, something like that. He did get up there. It's a ball. The count is what? 1 strike, 1 ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the board says. Yeah. They say 2 strikes up there. Do you call it a strike? I
It
looked
shows
down.
on the board 0-2. I think it was a swing and a miss, actually.
The first one was.
So that should be 1 and 2, I believe. Because he took that one, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 1 ball, 2 strikes, no outs here. It's a 10-1 game. If we could put 1 more on, we'd be headed for burger time. That ball's low and outside. That makes it 3-1.
Yep.
So it's a 3-1 count.
I was right out there like, man. Let's do now some sticks.
Yeah.
Give him the green light. Let him swing.
So here comes the pitch. It's a drive.
Towards center field.
Ooh, yeah, the center fielder makes the catch, and they keep Tucker. Is that Tucker that's,
No, that's
out there?
Zeke.
They keep Zeke out on second.
It brings up
So
Marcus
1
Acero.
out. We need a hit here. We need to advance him. We need to do something because we could get ourselves to the house if we could do it. His house. All right. So Marcus steps up. He's in that right-handed batter's box. He's ready. And there's the pitch,
Ooh.
and it smacks him. It
He
hits
did
him
not like
hard.
that
He
at
didn't
all.
like it. That wasn't one of those where you have a chance to miss or like duck or even brace. It just,
Like right in the ribs.
yeah, he'd like take that in the ribs.
Marcus like, I didn't do nothing. I just walk.
That's so Marcus gets hit by a pitch. Hit by a pitch. Is it his birthday today? Is it
Yes,
Marcus's
it is
birthday?
Marcus. It is Marcus.
It is. So he just got a birthday present with a shot in the ribs.
Yeah, big 18. And Z takes off towards third, and he is there safe.
Yeah, the third baseman caught it, what looked like in time, but never even made a swipe at
Yeah,
him.
nothing.
So I think he was like, hey, you know what? They were only 1 run away. If we get this guy out, we might have to play an extra inning. We might as well let him on to third. Smir's a long drive. We got to get back to Hobbs in time to at least get something to eat. So anyway, we've got runners now at second and third. Got a 2-0 count, 1-0 count. We got some kind of count, a 2-0 count to, who do we got, Gio? Yep.
No, that's Morales up the bat.
Oh, Morales, I'm sorry,
Gio's
Alfredo
on
Morales.
deck. We had a double stidham go. Marcus advanced to second base as well.
There's a drive, and this should do the game, even if they catch it. They're going to catch it. Here comes the throw. Here comes the play at the plate, and they are there, and that should be the ball game.
It sure is.
That is it on an RBI from Alfredo Morales as Zeke Benton scores. We greatly, greatly appreciate everyone listening, watching. Eunice now improves, I believe, to 21-1 on the season. What a season for the Eunice Cardinals so far.
Amazing job by them young men. Amazing job by the young men, and also the coaches going out there and taking care of business. And give a quick shout out to our sponsors real quick. Redbird Gas, City of Eunice, Eunice Public Schools, Cardinal Hardware and Lumber, Eunice Record and Rentals, Parker Energy Service, Eunice Pump and Supply, and Eunice Health Clinic. Our sponsors of tonight's game.
And so once again, we appreciate everyone and everyone tuning in, everyone listening, everyone helping us when our box comes unplugged and whatnot. Thank you for listening. You've been listening to Eunice Cardinal Sports on the Nomark Broadcasting's coverage that you can hear and watch at HobbsAmerica.com by clicking on the Cardinal. You can also watch and listen at YouTube on the Eunice Sports page. Happy birthday, Marcus Tricero. Happy birthday, Becky Nogelmeyer. We got birthdays all around. We greatly appreciate you guys. Hope you have a great day. For Rosendo Caballero, Charlie Fairbrush out there getting a tan on the camera, I'm Jimmy Jones. Thank you for listening. We'll be back Saturday for the Jow Eunice doubleheader.
And senior night for track and baseball.
Yes. All right. Good night, everyone.